friggin' nuts!
A Sodor production, Thomas Wooden Railway Series, Episode 33, Edward's Busy Day. Edward is old, but everyone knows just how useful he truly is. Even if engines such as Gordon pretend not to. However, Edward isn't as strong as the other engines anymore, and so Sir Topham Hatt makes sure not to overwork him. But today was not one of those days. Out on the road, Bertie the bus had broken down. He had 2 flat tires and was going nowhere. So much for those engines. You'd think they'd be able to deliver the tar tanker to fix my roads. But to make things worse, the passengers were stranded. "We want our money back," screamed the passengers. A tired-out Bertie's driver went to phone for help. Edward was finishing his work at the sawmill and dumping depot when Sir Topham had arrived. "As you know, I've shut up Thomas in the shed for being silly, but to make matters worse, Bertie has broken down. The passengers are stranded. I need you to collect some coaches and fetch them, Edward." "Oh yes, of course, sir. We must not let the passengers down." Because Thomas was still sulking in the sheds, Edward collected Annie and Clarabelle from the yard, and he soon set off to meet Bertie. Edward soon found Bertie broken down and very cross. He was telling his driver just where the engines could put that tar wagon. Butch had arrived, however, and set to work helping out Bertie. Edward chuckled, but puffed away with the angry passengers. Edward finally reached his destination at Tidmouth Station. Just then, the station master walked up in a hurry. "The trucks have done it again. Percy is stalled out on the main line. Would you go and give him a push?" Edward wanted a rest, but knew there was more work to be done. Out on the viaduct, he found Percy sitting looking defeated. The trucks giggled at the trouble they had caused. Oh, thank goodness you're here, Edward. I've had enough of these trucks." Tired out Edward buffered up, and the 2 engines slowly moved the stubborn, troublesome trucks. They arrived at the docks just in time. Cranky unloaded the cargo, and the boats were able to leave Brendam on time. "Oh, bother, I'm going to be late for my next train," said Edward as he left the docks immediately. He arrived at Wellsworth Station to his coaches filled with anxious passengers. "Right away, guard," said the driver as the green flag waved. Edward buffered up to the coaches and set off. The first coach was heavy, but helped to move the second. Edward felt the weight of the heavy coaches drag him backwards, but he knew he had to go on. "You can do it, Edward," shouted Henry. With a final puff, Edward arrived at Knapford Station. Gordon was at the platform and was most impressed, but he kept it to himself. "Well done," boomed the Fat Controller. "You've shown today you are a really useful engine." "Oh, come on, old iron, don't say you're tired now," laughed James as he puffed through the station with a dirty goods train. And so we've come to the end of our story. It looks like Edward proved to the entire island once again his age does not define him. Even the 3 big tender engines were impressed. What do you think of that?